Are you about to watch this video and you're not liked and subscribed to it? Like the video, please. Just go down. It's right there. It's right there.
I did. I hit it. I hit it. Have you hit it?
I actually, full hand up, I am not subscribed, so I'm going to subscribe right now.
We'll do it now.
Going to do it right now. I have an idea about how you might feel about this, but the Atlantic League is experimenting with moving the mound back and the double hook designated hitter, which is fucking garbage. What the fuck? We'll start with the mound being moved back. I'm sure you have a whole rant that you want to go on. First thing I want to say about moving the mound back is that, do they not understand that, like, if you're moving the mound back, right, what we're saying is like, oh, guys are throwing too hard, there's too many strikeouts, whatever, and you know, you have the issue with the sticky substance and all these like wacky fucking wizard pitches are happening. Do you not understand that if you move the mound back, it only gives the pitch more time to move left to right even more? Like velocity wise, okay, like a fastball is a fastball. Like the velocity is measured coming out of the hand. Yes, you have more time to see it and react to it. We're talking fractions of a second here, but in terms of like the lateral movement, it only gives the baseball an opportunity to move even more.
Yeah, but if I have the opportunity to adjust their eyes, which they will, I pick up the spin on that ball just that much more sooner. And I now can make my decision that much sooner. And so to your point about devastating wipeout sliders, or think about Devin Williams' airbending changeup still working its way towards the back foot of a right-handed hitter with another foot of distance to have to cover. That changeup might be identified just a little sooner. And that movement that you think could result in the wipeout could, in fact, make that pitch not as appetizing, because you do see how quickly that damn thing is bearing in on me. I can't offer at this. So with that foot of distance taken away, and now we're only at 60 feet 6 inches, my decision-making time is shorter, and I've got to commit to that changeup that is eventually going to hit me in the back foot. But I don't know that yet, because I don't have just that much more time or just that much more distance to make my decision. That's why we talk about hitters the way we talk about, and hitting the baseball being as hard as it is to do, because of the velocity and the vertical and lateral movement involved in this. They are absolute freaks to be able to put the barrel on the baseball moving at that rate of speed. You reduce those, you give the hitters a little bit of a fighting chance. Here's the idea, Jared. Since the start of last season, major league batters have an expected batting average of 237 against 93 mile an hour, 2 and 4 seam fastballs, a 273 expected average against 92 mile an hour fastballs, and a 334 expected average against 91 mile an hour fastballs. So when you start to reduce the velocity by just a tick, you can see the increase in potential offense. And that's why I laugh at stuff like this, because we have done everything we can to give these hitters the best possible shot at competing against the pitchers. And they'll never be able to do it. That's your dumbass fault for trying to be a hitter. But when this game first started, we allowed hitters to request pitch height, speed, and location. That became a problem very early, and they were like, look, we can't do this. We're going to have to move the pitcher's box back a little. We're going to have to start throwing shit overhand. We can allow these guys to make it move. We got to do a lot, because this is not how this game can go. So we've made adjustments, and Bob Gibson showed up and shoved it up everybody's ass in 68. And they were like, well, we can't let him just stand on top of a mountain and throw 98 down these guys' throats anymore. We got to lower the mound and make them a little more level. So they've done that. And now all we've done as pitchers is adjust and throw things harder, faster, and make it move more than it ever has. So what do we got to do? Fuck. We've made him throw it overhand. We've move them back at this point. Like that's all that's left to do. Move them back. So that's where we're at. What's funny is I've talked about this a lot. I've talked about this for years about wouldn't it be crazy if baseball teams started to treat the distance of the mound like they do their outfield walls? The reason you want to go to Yankee Stadium as a lefty, because guess what? You can dive out over the dish and yank and pull all day long down that short porch. Have fun. You go to Fenway, pepper left field, make some money, hitting fly balls to left. Well, what if you went to New York and you were like, I don't want to go to New York. The fucking mound is 63 feet away from home plate. This week is going to suck, but I can't wait to get to Oakland because it's only 58 feet in Oakland and my shit's going to tick up. I'm going to be real sexy. Well, here we are. Here we are in that moment. How do we get offense? How do we generate this game and get it back to something that resembles action as opposed to teaching kids to get excited about just strikeouts and just homers? So they're moving the mound back. Injuries, adaptation, like strike zone adaptation. There's going to be a lot that goes on here. The injury thing is something that I'm paying special attention to because now you've got guys that are going to want to really dial shit up. Now 93 is not 93, and they're going to be looking for it because we're cavemen out there sometimes. And what happens when you need to throw it harder? You try to throw it harder when all you needed to do was locate. Well, now you've got an extra foot of ground to cover. Maybe you're going to step on it and you shouldn't. Elbow goes, shoulder goes, who knows?
I really want to talk about this fucking DH thing because I mean, by the way, I hope that neither of these rules come into play. But what purpose is this DH rule going to serve? And I feel like I'm obviously more, I guess, pissed about it because my team has a full-time DH, whereas most teams kind of use the DH spot as a rotating place to give a guy a day off or whatever. But to my understanding, right, like you're basically, once your starting pitcher comes out of the game, you lose the DH spot in your lineup, you become a National League team.
Correct. This is in an effort to eliminate the pitching changes at the frequency with which we've seen pitching changes occur. So if you pair this with the 3-batter minimum, now what you have is a big decision to be made.
No way. Acuna just fucking hit another home run.
You're welcome.
Oh my God.
Braves fans, you're welcome. Because it was 10 minutes after I told you he was cold that he turned it up. He turned it, and it hasn't been turned off. He's hot as fuck.
Wow.
Raking. But the idea, Jared, is that you don't allow these teams who deploy the opener to do so. You eliminate this strategic approach to bullpenning. You effectively kill bullpenning by forcing the manager to decide whether or not he wants to just match up the whole game or do you like offense? You're going to determine what this game looks like, at least on your end. That's what this rule is doing. So do I understand where that rule is coming from? Yep. Does it make sense? If we're being honest and you're thinking about trying to bring something back to the game, then yeah, it makes sense. You don't want to see the pitching changes. You don't want to see this bullpen strategy deployed where the first 3 arms you see out of the game might cover 3 innings. You don't want to see that.
That's still garbage. It's still garbage. Like when you have, like you've invested money in a designated hitter, or you have like these guys at the end of their careers. And it's like, all right, they're transitioning to being a DH. And it's like, all right, like best case scenario, we have you through the fucking 7th inning. Like, that's terrible. Like you want, like your DH, like especially with a situation with the Red Sox, like JD Martinez is the best hitter in their lineup. And now they're not going to be able to have them in their lineup. If their starter goes fucking 4 1/3, he's just done after that. Like it's a terrible rule.